here with Wyatt Hosick to preview the 2025-26 Concordia Powerlifting season. As we record this, we have a home meet coming up. Wanted to start with a little bit of your background. You're from Cozad, Nebraska.
Yeah.
How did your recruiting process work out, and how did you end up choosing Concordia?
So I started powerlifting my junior year. I actually lifted for one of my rival schools, Lexington. Cozad was very generous and gave me the opportunity to lift for them because Cozad didn't have it. And through there, Freddie actually met me at one of my state meets, and Coach Freddie came up and he was talking to me and he goes, "Hey, would you be interested in doing this at the college level?" And I was like, you want me to do this at the college level? And I never thought of being a college athlete. So whenever he asked me that, it was almost an automatic yes. I did get asked from other colleges, but here it felt like it was more team-oriented, like team to get. It's more of a team togetherness rather than like you focus on yourself. It felt like we were here to build each other up and not just focus on like the winning aspect. Of course, winning's important, but it felt here that like everyone was here to better each other. Mm-hmm. And of course, winning comes along with that, but
right.
Yeah.
I believe before you got here, you won a state competition, right?
Yeah.
Right? What was that experience like?
So my senior year, in high school, I actually was a weight class above what I am now. I was 148 or 67.5 kilos, and that experience of when I was done and not really being in a situation where like I was a good athlete in high school, like getting that moment to be on top of a podium like that, it was incredible.
Mm-hmm. So you come into here. What did you think of kind of the whole atmosphere here? Obviously, a fairly new program still with powerlifting at Concordia.
So when I walked in and I heard it, I think it was the third year is when I started, or fourth year, somewhere around there. I knew that like it probably wasn't going to be like super like serious. Like I knew there's going to be some like kinks inside of what was going on, but once we started rolling, everything just fell right into place. And I mean, the team's great. I love the coaches, and it just made sense for everything that happened. It was just great. Mm-hmm. Last year was phenomenal. I want someone to see how last year went. It was incredible.
Mm-hmm. I was going to look back quickly before talking about some of the achievements at nationals last year, but you said you kind of got into lifting late in your high school career.
Yeah.
What made you want to do it, I guess, competitively?
So growing up, I never played football, and then my freshman year of high school, I started, and my sophomore year, I took a bad hit, like knocked out on the football field, completely out, and I wasn't going to do a winter sport. And that's when one of my very close friends from Cozad, Sophia Foster, she asked me if I wanted to try this thing called powerlifting, because I had always been a competitive lifter, even at my own high school, just in the weight room and stuff. And when I was like, what's that? And then she brought me to one meet my sophomore year, and I was interested. And so junior year I joined, and after that it was just off to the races, and I ran with it.
And I guess a couple years later, you're at nationals and you're in Oklahoma City, right, for powerlifting. You placed fourth in your weight class. What was that whole experience like for you?
I don't think there's words to even explain that feeling. I mean, cutting from when I first got here at campus, I weighed around 167, 170 pounds, and dropped down to 131 by November, and it was just determination. And when I qualified for nationals, I was excited, and then going to nationals and Coach Freddie telling me that I had a chance to be on the podium, it was like, whoa, we're here, we're doing this. And throughout the entire competition, just the calmness and the excitement and the seriousness, that atmosphere, it's unmatched.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe you can expand on that, just what that whole environment is like in Oklahoma City last year.
So everyone there, I lifted in the night session. So there's 3 sessions during the day, morning, evening, and night. And that night session, everyone knows that like it's the last session of the day. So everyone wants to get like their best lifts out. They want to make a moment because like it's the end of the day. And so I made weight by a pound, and we went back, and of course once you're done weighing in, you start eating food, drinking Pedialyte, getting electrolytes, and starting to get yourself prepared for this. And I was talking to Freddie, and Freddie saw it all over my face. I was nervous. I mean, I have freshmen at nationals. I remember I was just I was in a different world, and warming up, I did have the advantage of having a upperclassman who had been there before in Dax Davis in my weight class, and we lifted on the same platform, and we were able to bounce off energy of each other. And it was a great advantage to have someone on my team there other than my coaches, because he was telling me things like slow down, wait, get ready. Like he was definitely a mentor in that situation, which was incredible. Going through it, like the music blaring, you're sitting in a dark area behind the platform. There's big screens that project other people going, and it's like everyone's waiting for their turn, and their turn, you know that like if you mess up, you better hope you can pick up later. But yeah.
So that leads into this year. I think it was 17 Concordia athletes that went to powerlifting nationals last year. What have you guys been, or what have workouts been like so far this fall, and how do you see things building upon kind of what was accomplished last year?
Workouts have been going great so far. I see a lot of energy in the gym, and I think it also helps. A lot of us have missed being in our gym with our teammates. I do think that this year we're going to have a lot of success. I mean, some of the more noticeable jumps is Tia Badger last year. She had an incredible jump. She got 4th at nationals. Another kid who didn't qualify for nationals, but I could see qualifying soon, is Zachary Brown. He had an insane year last year, and those are just 2 of the ones that I can remember right now. But there's a lot of incoming freshmen. We have G. She comes from Team Outlier, and she's in the lightest weight class you can be in, and she's really strong. Another freshman that I can think of right now is Matthew. He's a freshman coming out of Grand Island, and I competed with him in high school. And watching him grow as well, it's been cool to watch. I think there's going to be a lot more development with this team this year, and a lot more kids going to nationals.
Mm-hmm. So I guess that being said, maybe expand on that a little bit, but what would make this a successful season for you? I know nationals is during the spring semester, so you kind of work all year kind of leading up to that.
First off is I got to make weight. It's kind of harder than actually lifting the weight for me, but no, the goal is I want to put up a good total in November at regionals, and put out a good total, and then at nationals, obviously the goal is to win. I mean, the senior who won last year, Chase Chiappa from Midland, he's graduated, so it puts me in a position of top 3 if you think of it that way. And so the goal is to chase down 2nd and 3rd, especially. And another thing on top of it, of course, is pushing numbers. For example, like my deadlift, I'm 33 kilos away from the American record, so that's another one I'm really pushing forward towards. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Okay, I was gonna go with some kind of quick questions to finish on, if you're good with that.
Yeah.
What is a recent TV show or movie that you've watched?
So I actually don't watch TV or movies.
Oh, not at all.
But I'm a YouTube kid.
Okay.
So if I watch a lot of golf. So I guess I could say I watch like the Masters or the U.S. Open and like the actual golf tournaments. So actually no, a movie I have watched is Happy Gilmore 2. I did watch that one.
Okay, that's on Netflix. So
Yeah.
Do you have a pre-competition meal or routine?
I don't really have a routine. A lot of it is like I grab an energy drink, and I just put on music and I get ready to go. It's not really a routine, a kind of thing that's just general, but I guess, yeah.
How about something fun you were able to do over the summer?
Another golf-related deal, but I got to play in a COSAD tournament called the Maker Cup. It's kind of like the Ryder Cup, but we call it the Maker Cup because we're the COSAD Haymakers, and that was a fun experience. Golf is another passion that I just picked up recently, so yeah, no, definitely being able to golf. So.
If you could pick a singer or a band to play in Bulldog Stadium, who would you pick?
Ooh, see, I'm from kind of nowhere, Nebraska, so I'm really into country music. So I'd say the Zac Brown Band. But if I really had to choose, obviously it's sad to hear the news about him. But I'd love to hear Ozzy Osbourne a little bit more.
If you could pick one teammate to help you through a zombie apocalypse, who would it be?
Caden Mima. Caden Mima, yes. He watches a lot of the anime cyberpunk stuff. He actually tried getting me into that TV show. Okay. Him and I back and forth, we ping pong very well, so it'd be good.
Do you have a favorite professional sports team or athlete?
I guess it's kind of biased when I started watching, but I'm a big NBA nerd. I started watching in the 2014-2015 season whenever the Golden States won their first championship during their dynasty, and I guess my favorite player is Steph Curry. But if I had to go with a second, I love Julius Erving. I love his stuff from back in the 76er days.
You can find him on YouTube too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
How about a hidden talent?
Ooh.
None?
Hidden talents, I don't really know. I used pole vault in high school. I guess pole vaulting is kind of a hidden talent for me, but I don't know if that's really hidden since it's a sport. I wasn't in honor choir. I used to be able to sing.
Now your teammates are going to ask you to sing.
Oh, yeah. No, they've already heard enough. They don't want to hear anymore.
How about a hobby outside of lifting? I know you talked about golf. Any other hobbies?
I guess work. I know it's not really a hobby, but this summer I work 3 jobs. So I guess that's kind of a hobby for me. I do like collecting cards. I do collect cards here and there, but yeah.
And to end on, can I get a SCO Dogs?
SCO Dogs!
All right, perfect.